Aloha, good afternoon. It's an Aloha Thursday because I don't have to work tomorrow. Get to go to a wedding instead. But I do have to go set up for the wedding, so I guess I do have to work. Anyway, we started today at 6. I've been in a bit of a mood because of my injury to my finger. Yesterday I smashed my finger. I basically twisted the tip to the point where I twisted the nail right off the finger and tore or split open the tip of the finger. Put it all back. It's been wrapped ever since, and it looks good. It's just that you can tell the nail's been dislocated, so it hasn't stopped bleeding. So I put this little piece of a latex glove over it just to keep from blooding up my cab. But doesn't hurt or throb, but man, just don't bump it into anything, because then it does. So we're working with an injury today. I'd much rather work with an injury than stay home with an injury. Staying home with an injury is the worst. So we're just taking our time, trying to be careful not to hurt ourselves anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we're already on our 11th movement of the day. I don't know how that happened. I came to work with the plan today to do like 5 or 6 runs. That was it. Now we're doing 11. But we've been taking our time. I can't wear a glove, which means the hand gets dirty. Eventually I'll wash it, and that kind of like the little latex fingertip is really helping out a lot. It doesn't look that great, but definitely made things easier. Still can't wear a glove over it though, because then the pressure of the glove is too much. When we came in, we can't believe we've done 11 movements already. It's all been easy stuff right around the harbor. Right now we're hooked up to a this is a container that's coming back to our terminal. It's going to be a warehouse, and it gets distributed out to the hotels or solar panels or whoever it is. Could be sugar, could be solar panels, could be soaps, textiles. It feels a little bit like textiles. Sheets and pillowcases, all that stuff that helps run the hotel industry. So we'll get this out gated and then make our way back to our terminal. But yeah, we started out today. We brought in a full container load of dunnage. Got here to the terminal first thing in the morning, and come to find out the booking number was off. And there was nobody to call to get a good booking number. So ended up turning around and taking it back to the terminal. So that's the first 2 movements of the day. There was nothing to it. We've since fixed that, but there must be a reason for it. I don't know if it's because we're slower or it's just the Indians pushing their weight around. It's not real clear. Anyway, after we took the dunnage can back, we picked up an empty container from the big box, brought that in, got rid of it, and then picked up a load of air conditioning products. Took that down to the air conditioning distributor. After which we ran over to the telephone company and picked up an empty container from there. From there we picked up another full big box container load. Took that back to our terminal and put it in the yard. At which time we took a break for lunch. I rebandaged my finger. And then we ran down to the Alamana Shopping Center where we picked up a full container that was being exported. And, you know how they have different amusements inside malls, you know, be it meet Santa Claus or meet the Easter Bunny or whatever it may be. You have these mall displays that come and go. That's what that was. It was a display that goes from mall to mall. So we took that into the shipping terminal, picked up a load of I think that load was a soap. We took that back to our terminal, put it on dock 11. At that point, we picked up a load of appliances and took it over to an electrical company, stood by, offloaded. Brought that back here to the shipping terminal, got rid of the empty. And now we're hooked up to this warehouse can, I think. I think it's textiles, but I'm not sure. But none of the runs have been that hard. Seems to be getting a lot of work done, primarily because of good dispatching. DOT scale's not open, so we don't have to worry about that. Can't be textile, it's only 19,000 pounds. It's moving around though, it must be in display cases or something. Either that or a car or something. Yeah, making our way past the new shipping terminal being built. Right next door to that is the new Amazon regional distribution warehouse being built. Man, they are just like crazy here. You see workers on all four sides of the building going at it. Pumping concrete every day, moving steel every day. I'll bet you it's done by the end of the year. See the concrete pumping again? Almost went to work for that company with the green trucks. Almost. Went to the job interview, did the ride along with the safety guy. And then I got a $4 raise here at this company. And that was about the time I started driving tractor trailers. I'd rather drive tractor trailers than cement trucks. But anyway, that's kind of what's been up today. It's been kind of annoying with the throbbing finger. It's not really throbbing, it's just that you have to work very carefully so you don't bang it into anything. Then it becomes a throbbing finger. way back to our terminal. Maybe this might be the last run. That would be good if it is. Yeah, 11th movement of the day. Well, I do believe I'm the last man standing today. Still got a little bit of tea left. $4:37 on a Thursday. What do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 container movements. We'll be out of here by 4:45. 779,693. See, that's the secret to doing 14 movements. I only drove 67 miles. So not a lot of driving at all. Just a lot of picking up, dropping off, picking up, dropping off. I think the furthest I made it was the airport. Yeah. And that's 4 miles away from here. We're gonna head on home, take care of my finger. Gonna air it out for a while. It's been wrapped up since it happened, so everything's really puffy. Let's call it puffy. Well, I want it to stay that way because I'm pretty sure the nail is toast, but there's a lot of blood vessels underneath your nail. That's why they're so sensitive. So my feeling is I'm going to try to leave it on there as long as possible until that area can rejuvenate and rebuild. But I got to go home and look it up because I can't believe the right thing to do is to pull the nail off. Not only does it sound very painful, but it means I'll probably have to go to a doctor to do that. The things we do to ourselves, you know, just I always tell people that wear gloves work harder, but also when you wear gloves you tend to overexert, and that's what happened. I had the gloves on and it still did that. Hit it just right. The fingers on either side are sore too, but the one that took the blow was that ring finger. You basically just twisted the nail off the top of the fingertip. It hurt. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt like it did now. I was able to sleep last night, no problem. I haven't taken any pain meds. But boy, if you touch the edges, you know, the edge of the nail, very sensitive. Air conditioning, engine, 4 ways. Right. So yeah, we're off tomorrow. So we got a nice long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Back on Monday. We stayed late and took care of the run that was scheduled to do tomorrow. They wanted me to do it because it's an area that has a lot of wires. And this is the secret to wires. You got to have a piece of wood like this, and then you pull right up to the wire and let it just tap the front of the container. Then you get out with your piece of wood and push it on top of the container, and then it just rolls along the top. It's usually, you know, cable TV and telephone wires that are the low ones. The electrical are they're usually much higher most of the time. So when I picked up that can, I had to get out and push over 3 times, 3 different wires. And if you don't, then you tear them down. We get a phone call, you know, you tore down our wire. What are you going to do about it? And it's really not our responsibility because it's supposed to be at 14 feet at the curb. And in residential neighborhoods, because they don't get trucks, that's one of those things you just got to. Number one, wires. Number two is tree branches overhanging the street. You hit those tree branches, you can take down half a tree. Because these intermodal containers are pretty strong. But we're gonna head on home. I just want to make some rice, a salad, and I'm craving an omelet for some reason. So I'm thinking we're gonna have breakfast for dinner. An omelet with some cheese and onions and mushrooms and a little spicy salsa sprinkled on top. That's what I'm craving. So. And that's what I'm willing to put in the effort to make. So that's what's for dinner. But that's about it for this day. Thanks for watching. Aloha.